Applied Arts and Science College, being a NAC accredited and ISO certified institution with a vision, education to all, is imparting value based and comprehensive robust education. Working hard to deliver holistic quality education to students, our college provides various platforms by organizing workshops, especially international conferences and virtual webinars during pandemic, along with certificate courses, sports, culturals, etc. to make students versatile. The Department of English, imparting literature since 2010, provides opportunities for concentrated study of the language and literature and also provides a zeal artistic knowledge to appreciate the language and its present form. In addition to the academics, our department periodically arranges special lectures, workshops, and conferences stressing on the essentiality of effective communication through English in the changing global scenario. Learning English language has become an inevitable part of education nowadays. In the contemporary scenario, setting a standard for language is under transition where every parameter becomes temporal. With this shift, educators worldwide focus on instructing language set in a high quality in an easy way. In order to instruct students about the change and the need to master the learning, the Department of English has come forward in organizing this webinar that will bridge the gap between the educators and the students by addressing their needs and difficulties in learning and acquiring the language. Without further ado, let's begin the session. Prayer works wonders. Psalm chapter 32, verse 8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. So, with a strong belief, before we begin our session, I invite our college choir to invoke God's blessings to instruct, guide us through the
Savior, like a shepherd, lead us, marching in thy tender care. In thy pleasant passions, feed us, for thy use thy food prepare. Blessed Jesus, thou hast brought us thine near. Blessed Jesus, thou hast brought us thine near. We are thine till thou befriend us, be the guardian of our way. Keep thy flock from sin, defend us, save us when we go astray. Blessed Jesus, hear us when we pray. Blessed Jesus, hear us when we pray.
Welcoming is the noblest act of any function. Welcoming words are rose petals that are sprinkled with fragrance to invite one and all with warm greeting. William Shakespeare has said, small tree and great welcome make a merry feast. Now I invite Ms. Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to welcome the chief guest and all the participants who are ready to acquire knowledge in learning the language.
A very good afternoon to all. I feel honored to present the welcome address on this remarkable day. Firstly, I would like to extend a gracious welcome to our eminent speaker for the webinar, Ms. Navakarisi Gomati, who will be addressing the gathering with her intellectual thoughts. Secondly, I'm delighted to greet the Chairman Chevalier, Dr. N.R. Dhanapalan Sir, Secretary Mr. N.R.D. Prem Kumar Sir, and Joint Secretary Dr. P.E.R. Premchand Sir. We are delighted to have you all here amongst us. Thirdly, I extend a cheerful welcome to Madam Principal, Dr. Kamala Balakrishnan, and Madam Vice Principal, ITBC Coordinator, and Head of the Department English, Mrs. Jafia Sullivan. We are very much moved by your presence on this occasion. Next, I'm greatly privileged to welcome all the heads and faculty members of all the departments whose presence makes this event purposeful. Lastly, I deem it a pleasure to have the students of various departments for whom the event is hosted originally and whose presence the events become soulful. I hope you will all have a great and memorable session ahead. Before I depart, I would like to read a quote by Mark Twain. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, ma'am. Successful people maintain good habits that go hand in hand with the success in every area of endeavor which develops a reputation. Yes, and our chief guest for the day, Mrs. C. Navakarsi Gomadi, is such a great personality. Being a reputed scholar and navigator of this flagship of knowledge, she has achieved paramount success in all her endeavors. And now, to deliver more about her, I invite Mrs. Dhanalakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to introduce the chief guest.
Good evening to one and all present here. I am very much honored and elated to introduce our chief guest, Mrs. C. Navakarasi Gomati, Assistant Professor, Anna Velangani's College of Women. Our chief guest is an excellent educator with 5 years of experience in teaching. Holding her degree high, she has been the topper in all academic by placing university ranks. She has a certified and licensed trainer from Bodhi Training Solutions, an internationally acclaimed ISO certified institution. Throughout her career, she has worked with prestigious institutions, APC Mahalakshmi College of Women, Alpha Arts and Sciences College, and currently working in Annai Velangani's College of Women. Our guest speaker is a recipient of Mrs. Severin Award, Best Student Award, and was awarded the title Kavi Tilagam by Tamil Ayya Kalvi Kottam, has won various prizes in state level allocation competition. She has been the resource person for a national level training program, the Clipped Wings and the Silver Linings, and for various other webinars and training programs. During pandemic, she has organized 3 programs, namely Talk Show on the Footprints Lockdown, National Webinar Optimizing Gender Studies, and also organized international conference, The Nexus of Life, Language and Literature, where nearly 3,000 viewers benefited from it. As an eminent personality in the field of education, she has presented papers in various conference and seminars, and had presented. She has participated so many conferences and international, to name a few. She has participated in national level conference and percept of practice in English language teaching at Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, participated in a state level seminar on ecocentrism, a new vision in St. John's College, Palayankote, participated in international workshop on the theme PCI, a tool or enrich life, enhance leadership, and empower human being and Manonmaniam Sundaranar University. She has presented and meet in the novels of Amrit Tripathi novel at Bhaktavachalam College, where her paper was selected as a best paper. She has published 3 publications, namely Birth, Belonging and Migration in Jayashree Mishra's Ancient Promises, Refining Feminism, a study of Indian writing in English, and Social Awakening through Meet a Reading Amrit Tripathi, the Millennium Series. Such a great personality our chief guest is. To rate her accomplishment a day wouldn't be enough. So I end my brief introduction here. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Mr. C. Navakarsi Gomati, guest speaker of the day, to address the gathering. During the session, participants can raise their doubts and questions in the chat box option given below. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Very good afternoon to one and all present over here. Uh, I hope I'm audible because the heaven has opened and it is bucketing down here right now. And I hope and pray I don't have any issues with the network for the next 1 hour. And I would like to begin the session with a small anecdote. So once a man was traveling from one state to the other, and this man he is very tired and he did not have his food for the past 3 days. Now he is really hungry. He is extremely hungry. Yes, thank you. It's clear. Thank you for that message, Renimol ma'am. So this man, he is extremely hungry. So he went to the shop close by and he asked the wala over there, the man over there, the fellow over there, he asked him, what can you give me to satiate my hunger? The fellow in the shop immediately replied, yeah, you can have vada. So this man said, what is the second question is, what is the cost of the vada that would satiate my hunger? The tea shop fellow, he told it is 5 rupees. So after this bit of conversation, this man went in, he took his seat in a bench and he just took the plate. He had one. He was still hungry. He grabbed the second one. He was still hungry. He gobbled the third one. Then the fourth, fifth, sixth, and finally the seventh. The seventh vada made him feel full. Okay, it satiated his hunger, and now he had a full feel. So this man came out, and the bill was passed on to him. The bill said 35 rupees, and this man he offered 5 rupees. So this fellow in the tea shop said, "Sir, you had 7 vadas. 7 into 5 is 35, and you have to pay me 35 rupees, not 5 rupees." This man said, of course, I was very clear with my question in the beginning of the conversation. I asked you, what will be the cost of the vada that will satiate my hunger? And he said, you know what? The first 6 vadas did not satiate my hunger. It was the 7th vada that made me have a full feel. So I am going to pay only for the 7th vada. I am going to pay only the 5 rupees. This story is a wonderful example for communication gap. Communication. We human beings start communicate the moment we are born. The newborn child communicates, it cries, and it signifies that the child is healthy. The communication is there. The moment the child cries, yeah, the parents are happy that the baby is healthy. If the child doesn't cry, yes. So the communication starts right from our birth. And we human beings are born to communicate. The very birth of us, it has a reason behind it. It is a communication. And right from our childhood, we had been listening, we had been communicating. The baby cries when it needs milk, that is communication. Even before we start to speak, that is communication. And we, at the age of 25 or 30, we all still have problem with communication. We have to accept that. Why? Why do we have this gap in communication? Let me share my screen. Yeah. The idea is, especially when it comes to the other language, when it comes to English, yeah, that is definitely problem with our communication. But English is also introduced to us at an early stage. I'm sure those who are listening here, definitely you might have learned your A, B, C, D, and you are introduced to English when you are 3 or 4 years old. And nowadays kids are introduced, the newborns are the moment the child is born, it is introduced to the language. Yes, we speak mostly English with the baby. Yes, so this English is there with us right from our birth, but still we have problem with communication. Have you ever wondered why is this communication gap there? Yes. 1 second. Yeah. The thing is, long-term learners. At times we get frustrated. We think like, see, I'm learning this language from my childhood, but still I don't know what is present tense, what is past tense. I'm not able to converse well in English. I'm not able to communicate well in English. And you get frustrated, you stop. You just stop showing interest with the language. For people who think like this and people who wonder why there is this communication problem, I would like to give you one answer. Any language for that matter, it is a long term learning. Especially research says that 90% of ESL, that is English and as second language learners, are long term learners. Yes, I myself at the age of 30, I am in the process of learning. Today, I just learned something new in the language, not only with English, even if it is my mother tongue, I'm still in the process of language. So we have to accept the fact that we are long-term learners. And mastering the language definitely takes time. Nobody can master any language for that matter so easily. It needs a lot of devotion, it needs a lot of dedication. Always remember, Rome was not built in a day. And we have to push past this myth. Okay, the myth is created by the corporate world. Learn English in 21 hours, learn English in a week, speak English fluently in a month, 3 months crash course. Honestly speaking, I say this is a myth. If you think, if you believe that you can master any language in a short period of time, in a very short duration, no, I wouldn't accept with the thing that you can learn it in a short period. Any language for that matter, it is long term learning. All that you need is the interest and passion to learn it. And if you get frustrated, thinking that I'm learning it for such a long time, but still I am not able to communicate, then you stop learning. This frustration becomes a hindrance. So all those who are in the forum, my dear students, I just want you to accept the fact that any language for that matter, it is a long term learning. And the road is not difficult. Since it is a long term learning, don't think it is a very difficult process. It is going to be hectic. It is going to be tiring. No, not at all. It is quite interesting. The thing is, any language for that matter, it has a lot of things to offer you. Yes, you have level 1. When you are in level 1, go to level 2. And when you are in level 2, pass on to level 3. You can improve the standard. You can improve the standard. That is what long term learning is. And it doesn't mean that English is a very difficult language. But the reason for the communication gap is we miss certain opportunities. That is the reason for the communication gap, for the problem that we have, especially with English language when we try to communicate. What are those problems and how can we rectify them? How can we bridge the gap? That is what I am going to deliver in today's lecture. Yes, the first thing is immersion. This word immersion is very powerful, not just with the English language learning, anything for that matter, any skill that you want to learn, the first idea is you have to put yourself into it. You have to immerse yourself into it. You have to dive into the language. Through immersion, I mean you have to first prepare your mind to learn the language. However good your seed is, maybe the seed is really good, organic, okay, but the soil should be ready. The soil should be prepared. Only if the soil is good, the seed would come up. So this immersion is all about your mindset. First, if you want to learn the language, you should have the mindset of learning the language. Very simple. Without the mindset of learning the language, definitely we cannot learn the language. What is this immersion? The immersion is showing your interest, putting yourself completely into the idea. Honestly speaking, have we ever done that? Did we ever immerse ourselves into the language, give 100%, practice well, and then you tell there is a communication gap? No, not at all. See, once a disciple of Socrates, okay, he went to Socrates and just called his master, okay, and he said, I am he was desperately calling the master. Socrates was taking bath. He called the master and said, asked master, I have a doubt. The master was not happy. He was taking bath, and this fellow is disturbing him. He just said, showed his hand. Yes, he asked from the bank of the river. Okay, master is taking bath in the middle of the river, and from the bank of the river, this disciple shouted to Socrates. He asked, master, did you teach me the secret of success? The idea of success. The master called this man. He said, just come here, I'll teach you immediately. So this man, he just got into the river. He went close to the master. And Socrates was a tall fellow, and this disciple was a little short. Okay, standing in the water, the water was full. It was to the neck level of Socrates. He immediately pushed this man under pushed the disciple under the water, and he was holding him there for some time. And this man was desperate about coming out. He was breathless. He did all that he could, and he managed to come out pushing the master. Okay, and Socrates said, this is the idea of success. When you are putting yourself into something, when you are immersed into it, when you are desperate about something, if you really want to learn English, if you are desperate about learning English, you put yourself, immerse yourself into it. And the structured immersion process, properly structured, putting yourself into the language, and if you are thoughtful and you feel that you are desperate to learn the language, definitely you will be making it. It is sink or swim. Okay, the best example that I can give you for immersion is, you are sent to another country. Maybe you are sent to Africa, where the group of tribes are living. You are made to live in that situation with that people. Definitely you will learn their language in a matter of 6 months, and you will speak it fluently, because it is sink or swim. You speak their language, or else you don't have a choice at all. You are completely immersed into it. Understand? So this is immersion. So this immersion technique is, you are going to put yourself, your mind completely into the idea that you are going to learn the language. The problem is, we never completely dedicate us to the idea of learning the language. And the second thing that I would like to say is, yeah, when you are completely with this mindset of learning, the next thing that we have to do is identify your dominant learning style. See, each and every one of us are different. Okay, for some it is reading is very good. I love to read all the time, and for some, like, they are very good when it comes to listening. Yes, that is called as auditory. And few, only when they are put into action, they would. Only when they are speaking, they would be active. The rest of the time, when somebody is going to speak, they'll never listen. And when the book is given to them, they can never read. So each of us, we are unique. We have to find out our own style of learning the language, whether it is visual, whether it is auditory, or whether it is kinesthetic. Visual. Yes, if you love to watch something and learn, yes, go for movies, English movies. You can just watch dramas. Yes, you can watch them. You can practice the style. That is visual learners. Auditory is, they love to listen. So these people, you can just listen to Toastmasters, the TED Talks. All these things will help you when you are on the webinars. Yes, for auditory people. When you are going to listen to something, you can adopt easily. And few people are kinesthetic. These people are like, only when you ask them to do something, they will be doing. So these people should practice reading aloud. reproducing it, memorize, give up. All those things will definitely help you in improving your language. The first thing is you should immerse yourself. You should put yourself in one such situation. You should immerse and you should completely prepare your mind, prepare the soil for cultivation. You should be determined, you should be dedicated, and you should be devoted. The second one is, yeah, smart work. You should know which method will work for you, whether it is going to be the visual, or it is going to be the auditory, or it is going to be kinesthetic. In auditory, you can also listen to English songs. Listen to the song. You will understand what the accent is. Okay, you will understand what the language is. So the second thing is you have to identify your dominant style of learning. With this, the next thing that I would like to tell is any learning for that matter, especially when it comes to learning a language, can never be done in isolation. You cannot learn any language in isolation. It is always a social learning. What do I mean by social learning? See, only when you are with people, you learn. A child, okay, if there is a child at home and the child is not speaking at all, when it is 4 year old or 5 year old, when you take him to the pediatrician or the doctor, the first thing that they would say is you speak to the child. The child should listen and should respond, and that is how the child will learn the language. So the children who are brought up in a family where like you have too many relatives, they speak early, whereas in nuclear family it is, the children don't speak at an early stage. The thing is, they in the joint family, they are so social, they live as a society, they interact with the neighbors. But whereas like in these isolated families, they don't interact with each other, and that is why the child doesn't speak. So if you're all alone at home and you think I'm going to learn English all by myself, I'm quite doubtful about it. I don't think you can do it. I don't think anyone can do it, learning a language in isolation, because learning a language, communication, it happens as a group. See, the social learning is observational learning. You observe something. Yes, the child speaks. Okay, at the age of 2, how does it speak? Did the mother train it? Did the mother start with the alphabets first? No, absolutely not. The child listens to the mother. Yes, it doesn't stop with listening to the mother. It retains it in this mind initially. Yes, the first stage is listening to the mother. Come on, baby, come here. Yes, the child will definitely never respond to it when the mother says this for the first time. Baby, come to me. The child will not respond. When the mother is repeating again and again and again, the child will understand. Come to me. So this phrase will retain in the memory. And next time, when the child starts to speak, if the child wants the mother to come closer, the child would tell, come to me. What is happening here? It is plain imitation. It is plain imitation. Any language for that matter is an art of imitation. All the language in the universe, we are imitating each other. And the thing is, definitely, when like if any of you when I speak, many say that you speak like Professor so and so, so and so. The thing is, I have learned from the professor and I am imitating the professor. Imitation is not just copying. Okay, I am imitating her, wherein in my deliverance, my own style comes in. Right? So any language for that matter is an imitation. And the child, when it is reproducing it, when I'm able to successfully reproduce, I become so confident and it motivates me. When I'm able to successfully imitate, I'm so happy. I say that I can communicate well. I am confident now, and afterwards, that communication, that language becomes so natural to me. So this learning of a language, it happens only as a community. In school, in classrooms, you imitate your teacher. Some of you like the style of a particular teacher. If you like that, start imitating her. No harm in it. You are not a copycat with it. You are not copying. The art of imitation is unique. Yes, yeah, and what do we do in our actual life? We imitate. Yes, you're dressing, you imitate the cine actress, model, and excuse me. Sorry. So throughout in our life, not just with language, everything is imitation. So many say you speak like your mother. Definitely, no doubt in it. I have seen my mother speak, and that is why I am speaking. So here I would like to register that if you like the language of any particular teacher, my dear students, please start imitating her. Okay, let it be a mimicry, let it be a mono act. No harm in it, but soon you will learn her language, and thereafter, when you are able to successfully do that imitation, successfully do that mimicry or mono act, it will become your own style, and you will start communicating confidently and effectively thereafter. So this, you have to understand that learning a language can happen only as a group, and it is the process is you observe, you just retain it in your mind, and you reproduce it, and when you are able to reproduce it successfully, you are motivated and you believe it is own. And finally, you believe that it is your own language, but it is imitation, and that is the process in which we all learn our language. Yes. And as I said, like in the beginning of my conversation, see, the language learning is a long-term process. It is a distributed. As I said, you cannot master any language in a matter of 21 days, 31 days, or 2 months, 3 months. No, it is a distributed practice. What do I mean by distributed practice? What do I mean by the term distributed practice? See, distributed practice is a learning technique where practice occurs in multiple short sessions over a long period of time with an acceptable amount of space between each session. Yes, maybe this is a long sentence. The idea that I am trying to convey here is practice the language every day. The idea is so simple. Whether it is speaking or it is writing or listening, like initially students may even have problem with listening. You say, I listened to 1 hour conversation and I understood a very little of it. Yes, what you have to do it, you have to make it distributed. In one day, I'm going to listen for 30 hours. Okay, and I want to complete the course. Okay, so this is a 30 hours lecture. I'm going to listen all the 30 hours in one day, and I want to be a master. I'm sorry, I'm afraid that cannot happen. It should be evenly distributed. The first day you listen to 1 hour and you are able to concentrate, you are able to understand only for 15 minutes. The second day you listen for another 1 hour, maybe it will increase to 20 minutes. Your attention span, your concentration will be for 20 minutes. And slowly, when it is evenly distributed, when the practice is evenly distributed, it is possible by the 30th lecture that you are able to concentrate for 50 minutes or 55 minutes of what you are listening. The same with speaking, the same with writing. In one single go, you cannot write a novel. Practice it every day. Write a paragraph, make it a page, make it a chapter, then slowly evolve it'll evolve as a book. So distributed practice should be there, and this distributed practice, it should be consistent. There should be consistency in what you do. You have to practice every day, a multiple short sessions over a long period of time, and there should be proper interval. If your mind is going to concentrate on something for a long time, definitely it is not going to be 100% useful. Your mind can, the attention span would be there only for a stipulated time. You cannot concentrate on something for a very long time. So start like follow this technique of distributed practice. Okay. And when I say distributed, see, when you are like when you are thinking that I'm going to learn it at a stretch, okay, when it is not distributed, your concentration is completely on something. Okay, you think I'm learning for these 30 hours, and I am going to learn this language today. As I said, it wouldn't happen. Okay, the more you feel you are conscious and cautious about a language, you are not successful over there. You are going to fail there terribly. Not like with the language learning, if you are very conscious, you cannot make it at all. The best language learning happens when you forget that you are learning the language. Okay, this may appear a little funny to you what I say. But it is true, the best language learning happens when you forget that you are learning the language. Okay, so how can this happen? I give you an example. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, and the story is in a language that you are not familiar with. Maybe I'm telling you the story in Marathi or Gujarati or Malayalam, some other language, but you are able to understand that. Okay, and if you are very conscious thinking that I'm going to make a note of all the words that I don't know, and I'm going to find meaning, and I'm going to be very careful in learning, definitely you will not understand the meaning. And if when I'm telling the story is really interesting, you are able to understand the story with my body language, with my expression, and so you will forget slowly that this language is new to you. Okay, initially if you want to give a try with this, listen to the balki, the rhymes in other language, in Hindi or in Malayalam. You will not understand the word of it. Okay, I mean, you will not know what that word exactly means, but you will imbibe the idea of that rhymes, idea of that song. So unconsciously, okay, maybe you will not know the meaning for each and every word over there, but you understand what the idea is over there. So the communication is done there, and you have learnt that language unconsciously. This is how it happens. That is why kids are exposed to rhymes. Okay, there they are learning the language unconsciously. A kid, when it is telling the rhymes, the wheels on the bus go round and round, definitely the child will not understand the meaning of the every single word, wheel on the bus, no, but the child understands the concept. Any child will definitely know the concept. The meaning of each and every word over there, it is a question mark, but the idea, the communication happens there. So this is what learning the language unconsciously, and this is more, and in language learning is, it should be more practical, and it should be something natural. As we learned our mother tongue, the process of learning any language, and especially learning English, should be natural to you. It should be a practical application. It should come it should come just like that. Not that you are very conscious. Okay, if I'm anything that you do, and when you are extra careful about it, definitely you're going to you're going to be a flop over there. For example, I give you a water bottle or a cup of tea, and I tell you are just going to carry it to the third floor, not spilling a drop of it. I'm damn sure we'll spill it. I'm damn sure we'll spill it. When we are, you might tell at times I was extra careful. Yes, this extra becomes a problem. So don't be so conscious about learning a language. Nobody can do it. See, don't think like I'm going to learn 10 words today, 10 new words, and I'm going to make it. Did I use of all the 10 words that I learned today? Did I use that in my day-to-day conversation? That is not going to help us practically, and the language learning should come to us very naturally. You should not be conscious about learning it. Unconscious learning should be there when you are learning the language. The communication skill, BICS. This is what we are all badly in need of. This is basic interpersonal communication skill. This is what the society expects from you at the initial stage. This basic interpersonal communication skill is nothing but your spoken English or written, the day-to-day conversation that you have, the simple letters that you draft, the simple mail that you send, and the simple conversation that you have, the ability to speak the basic English. If I am speaking to you in English, you must be able to respond well, and you must be able to communicate well with me, because English is called the survival language. It is called survival English or playground English. Why is this language called as survival English? Practically speaking, the other day my cousin called me over phone, and he asked me, I just want to look for a bureau, okay, the steel bureau in Amazon. When I type bureau, it doesn't show anything. Tell me what is in English. Okay, and I think you all must have come across this advertisement of Amazon, where a man asks, what is in English for a mortar? And when a lady asks, the man responds like, in Amazon, you can search anything in your regional language. Yes, and the lady is so happy about it. She's going to search for the product in the regional language, and she can get it. So when my cousin called me asking me the English word, I told him, you can search it in Tamil in Amazon. You can very well search it in Tamil in Amazon. Amazon is giving you that feature. And he asked me, what is in Tamil for a bureau? And he asked whether a bureau is a Tamil word or an English word. So we live in a society where English has become our culture. It is part and parcel of our life. In this forum, how many of us really know what is in Tamil for a bureau? What do we call it? Can we tell the answer immediately without referring to anything, without asking anybody? Survival English. So we, in this 21st century, the culture is you should know the basic English. You should have this basic interpersonal communication skill. Whether, irrespective of your field, whether you are a doctor or an engineer or a teacher, or you're going to work for a firm, you are in the field of marketing or anything, or else you own your business, you are an entrepreneur, you are the society, you can be successful in your profession only when you have this basic interpersonal communication skill. Because the English is not a foreign language anymore. It is not a second language anymore. It is our survival language. Okay, it is called survival English. So the basic thing that you have to concentrate initially, the first level of learning is trying to communicate the written form as well as the spoken. So And the world is very fast nowadays. Everything is technical, and we are all busy understanding webinars, like attending webinars, listening to people, attending meetings, back to back session. We are all held up with something or the other throughout the day. Yes, and nobody will have the time to stop and listen to you. The duration that is given to you is very small, very small. It is very short. You have a very short duration with you. Why am I telling that you have a very short duration? For example, imagine you are going for an interview. And definitely, the first question to you will be introduce yourself, or else what is your name? The survey says 90% of the students, when the question is asked to them, they respond as myself, Navukarasi, myself, Priya, myself, so and so. You failed that. You failed that because in English there is no such usage as myself and the name. Myself, Navukarasi. It is absolutely wrong. But we are following it. The second question that is going to be is the second question will definitely be, what are you doing right now? When this question is asked to you, what are you doing right now? The answer by 85% of the students is, I am pursuing my BA, pursuing my MA, I am pursuing my engineering. Please go and refer to the exact meaning of pursuing in your dictionary. That means you are chasing or you are running after something. Are you running after your degree? Are you chasing the course that you are doing? No. So the first two questions will give, like when you answer, if you are going to tell myself and I am pursuing, yeah, that's it. The person will not listen to you for the next 10 or 15 minutes that you are going to present. He'll get an idea. See, this human mind is highly analytical. And God has blessed us with one such talent. I do not know the nuance of music. I do not know the intricacies of dancing. I do not know how to draw really well. But I can judge what is a good dance. I know who's singing well, and I know which is the perfect painting. Yes, because God has gifted us all with one such special talent that you can judge very easily. Whether you are good at that or not, that is the second question. But I can judge when others are performing. And today I give you an example. This 1 hour session that I am delivering, in the first few minutes, all of you might have determined, decided whether you are going to listen to me, lend your ears for the next 30 minutes, or else you are going to be ideal throughout the session, and you are going to fill the feedback form by the end. You must have definitely decided it in the first few minutes of the lecture. Yes, this is sincerely true. So, what is elevator pitch? The elevator pitch is nothing but this 30 seconds or 20 seconds, the time that you take in traveling in an elevator. In that 30 seconds, you must be able to powerfully, you must be able to successfully communicate with the person. The first 30 seconds in an interview is very important. The opening of a talk is very important. If you want to sell your product, the way you introduce your product is very important. The first 30 seconds will decide whether you are going to be really successful in selling yourself, in introducing yourself. It will decide, the first 30 seconds will determine whether people are going to listen to you for the rest of the time. I know it is ideally short enough, and USP, this unique selling point, you must be crispy. You should know what to deliver. Okay, nobody is ready to listen to your stories over there. They are just looking for the meaning over there, what you are trying to convey. So there should be a clear goal when you go for an interview, or when you are going to sell your product, market your product. When you might have a very good product designed, a very good idea with you. You have to sell it properly. It should reach the audience, and this is a call to action. This 30 seconds is the call to action. This elevator pitch, that is the 30 seconds, will decide whether you are going to be successful in your mission. So practice this at home. You must all know to introduce yourself. Yes, introduce yourself powerfully, confidently, successfully in a 30 seconds time. Okay, so practice doing this at home. Many of the final year students might be here. You may be listening to it, and you will sit for an interview next week or next month. Please do not go to the interview without practicing elevator pitch. If you are going to sell your product, the idea of the product should come within the first 30 seconds. Tell this is the product. Okay, the person should be impressed and they should be interested in listening to you about the products. So the elevator pitch is having a clear goal and expressing yourself at the right moment in the right way. That is what called as elevator pitch. Now that I have told you how you can learn the language, I should also tell what really stops us from learning the language. This term, affective filter, is what stops us from learning the language. The thing is, when a communication is happening, if I am speaking to you right at the moment, only 10% of the communication is for me. 90% of the communication is for you. Only when you understand what I am delivering today, my communication is successful. So 90% is based on your understanding and 10% is based on my delivery. So when I say 90% is in the receptive side, in the side of the audience, what happens there is, if I'm speaking, if I'm going to think, am I making it in the right way? Yes. Am I making it clear? I'm not sure whether the students are understanding me. Am I going there in the right track? Will the students understand? So if all these questions are coming to my mind, and if I'm going to think like, am I really boring them so much? How many of them are sleeping? And if I'm going to think about all these things, I will not be able to present myself for the rest of the time. This will make me less confident. Okay, if you are going to worry a lot about the other side, what people will think of me if I'm going to present myself in one such way. Yes, when you start thinking about the other side, okay, will people understand? Will people like it? When all these questions come to me, I become less confidence. I become nervous and anxiety takes over me. So the rest of the communication will never be effective. So the number of affective variables. So what are the affective variables? Being less confidence. People feel like, no, ma'am, I cannot speak. If I speak, everybody will laugh at me. If you think so, people will laugh at you. Because this lack of confidence will never allow you to communicate, to speak throughout your lifetime. It will never allow you. If you are not confident and if you are very nervous, if you are anxious about it, you can never make it. How can you overcome this? And the thing is, forcing output to you early. The thing is, you practice reading for 3 times and the 4th time you want it to be perfect. If it is not perfect, you can get disappointed. You are forcing the output too early. No. Nothing comes just like that. You have to practice. And if you're not doing it well now, just try to make it better the next time. But don't get disappointed. Okay, and this affective filter, it puts you, it just puts you in isolation. See, in that friends gang, everybody is speaking in English, and I'm not so good in English, so I'm not going to join them. I'll be alone. If you are going to be alone, if you are worried, if you are so if you feel it embarrassing to be in an English as second language learner in a group where like the native speakers are, you cannot learn English. You should have the confidence to go sit with them, okay, make mistakes and learn from them. Okay, if 3 or 4 people from Cambridge University are there, definitely I know like their English is going to be better than mine. But what should I do? I should go sit with them. I shouldn't be embarrassed about my English. I should go sit with them, learn from them, and I have to accept my mistake and learn from that. Okay, so don't expect your output too early. It'll take some time, and don't be anxious, don't feel embarrassed, and put yourself away from the environment. If you are going to keep you away from the English speaking environment, if you are going to be embarrassed, if you are going to isolate yourself, it is again going to be a little challenging. You have to put yourself among them and learn from them, also learn from your mistake. So this affective filter, it can be lowered only when you feel confident, and then the language acquisition, it comes to you naturally. See, the affective filter, one simple example that I'm going to give you: when the class teacher is asking a question and you know the answer, or else you feel like answering but you are feeling less confident, please try to like start raising your hands from today. Raise your hands. The first time I raised my hand in my lifetime, I stood up and I completely, it was blank. I don't know what to answer. When the class teacher asked me, you raised your hands but you don't know the answer, I said I have the answer but now everything is blank. But I didn't stop there. The second time, when I raised my hand, I was able to communicate a little. But I didn't stop raising my hand. I was embarrassed in the first time. I was embarrassed in the second time. But that embarrassment is not going to affect my language acquisition. If you want to learn the language, you should step on these things like lack of confidence, nervousness, anxiety. You have to ignore all those things, and you have to become confident. Only then you can learn the language. And I would also like to introduce to you something called as VMR. VMR is nothing but visual mental rehearsal. Okay, see, this is an evidence based technique in psychotherapy. See, I'm so afraid of dogs. Okay, I'm so afraid of dogs. I never walk alone in the street because I fear dogs always. If that is the situation, what psychotherapy says is, put yourself in, imagine that you are with dogs. Imagine a dog is biting you. Imagine a dog is chasing you. Okay, imagine you are just running for your life. Fine. Imagine. The more you imagine, you become very comfortable with your imagination, and when it happens in your real life, you won't be really scared of it. You can overcome the threat. Okay, why am I telling it here in today's lecture? It is, you have to learn to train your mind. When I am going to present myself in in a group of 3,000 or 4,000 people, okay, I'm going to imagine. I just want you all to practice it now. All of you close your eyes. Imagine you are on stage. Yes, you are climbing the stage. People are welcoming you, clapping hands. You are on stage. You feel very confident today. You are thorough with your presentation. You know like how to hold yourself. And when you are presenting, people are so happy. The response is so good. When the response is so good, you are so happy, you shouldn't be moved to tears. Have it in mind. Have it in your mind. You are happy, and there is no place for sentiment when you are presenting yourself. You should be dignified. And but take it the other way around. Maybe you are very confident, but you aren't presenting that well. Okay, and it is not going good. Don't lose the strength over here. Still, try to recover, be confident, and try to present yourself. Imagine all these umpteen number of times. And this BMR is a training that is given to all the athletes. Yes, they are trained, they are visual mental rehearsal, it is always there. And this imagined practice is always better than the actual practice. So repeatedly, when you are facing that situation that threatens you, public speaking, presentation, speaking to the boss, speaking to the teacher, attending the interview. If this situation, if it is threatening you, at like when you are going to practice VMR, this visual mental rehearsal will help you stay calm, control the emotional condition, and you will learn to respond in the desired way, free of threat. So have it in mind, train your mind, this visual mental rehearsal. You can do that every day, with the English language learning. Imagine that you are speaking with your class teacher in English over phone. Just imagine, don't speak it out. Imagine twice or thrice. Maybe when you are going to call her one day, definitely you will feel comfortable. This visual mental rehearsal will help you do that confidently, will help you speak in English. And we are in like the lockdown period. The virus is there, outside roaming around, and we are all inside. And at this time, technology is our friend. It is your friend. We have plenty of options over there. You have Netflix, Fluent 2, TED Talk, Toastmaster, Duolingo, BBC Learning, Memrise, English Central. There are, and I can just give you the list. You go surf, you can find umpteen number of websites, apps that offer you, that can help you to learn English free of cost. So use all those technology. Listen to Netflix. And this Fluent 2, it is coming out with a caption. When you don't understand the word in the caption, just go and touch it. The picture of that particular word will come to you. So that technology is helping us really good. Okay, so in this time, technology can be your friend. With the help of technology, you can learn the language really well. And finally, now the ground is ready. Like mentally you are prepared, and I have given you tips how you should immerse yourself, and how you should prepare yourself, and how natural it should come to you. All those things are fine. Okay, play the game. Come on, how long are we going to prepare ourselves? You should jump. Okay, I cannot be just learning to I cannot be learning to swim standing in the bank of the river. I have to jump into the river. Do that. Okay, so rehearse a lot, record what your rehearsal. You yourself have a review about it, give it to your friend, ask for an honest opinion, find out what is wrong, and the next time you are going to be better. Play the game, come out, speak in English confidently. Definitely there would be some mistake, but you can rectify, correct it the next time. The review will help you for that. And I always have three mantras in my life when it comes to language learning. The first thing is speak slowly and clearly. A few years back, I happened to speak among a few foreigners, people from UK, I was so apprehensive, I was so embarrassed, because I thought I don't have that accent, and how am I going to present myself right in front of the native speakers? Okay, so when I just started to speak, I told them, sorry, I cannot speak like a native. Okay, and I'm not familiar with that accent. And immediately, one among them told, that is okay, we can understand you. So always when you communicate, this understanding is very important, for which you have to speak slowly and clearly. Be slow. Okay, at times when you speak fast, it appears as if you are not confident. Speak slowly and clearly, and always use fewer words. Use fewer words. Make it simple English. Don't think I have to use bombastic words, or I have to incorporate new words into my talk or lecture or writing. Only then people will think my English is good. No, not at all. Try to be as simple as possible. Give waiting time. Allow more wait time for the other person to understand and respond. Speak at the right pace, slowly, clearly, and even it is written communication. Use fewer words. And the last thing that I would like to tell you is practice, practice, practice. Please think of this question. When was the last time that you tried writing something on your own? And when was the last time that you tried to speak something on your own? And when was the last time you read something? The thing is, the more you listen, the good you speak. Yes, train the mouth with the ears and train the hands with your eyes. The more you read, you write well, and the more you listen, you speak well. So please put yourself into the four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. When you are going to practice that consistently, when you are going to have distributed learning, okay, when you believe in long term learning, you will definitely make it. So initially this you can by just adopting, incorporating all these techniques, you can bridge the gap in your communication. When it comes to English language learning, you can bridge the gap by just training yourself, adopting these strategies that I have stated. So all the best to all the students who are present over here, and I'm like open for questions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent session on acquiring language, ma'am. I'm sure all participants would have gained sound knowledge about the easy ways of acquiring language, and today they will start to immerse in learning the language. In the age of advancement, learning the language will be very helpful for our students in the future endeavors. Thank you once again, ma'am. Before we move on to the question and answer session, now I invite our joint Dr. P.R. Premchand to address the gathering.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And it was a brainstorming session, I would rather say. And it's like, Navuk Karasi. Yes, that is the truth. And it's a fantastic title given to you, ma'am. And I really appreciate you. Right from the beginning, I was watching you, your accent, and your thought provoking speech on the title, Bridging the Gap, Addressing the Needs of English Language Learners. Yes, I'm sure our students would have learned a lot of things from you. Wow, really, immersion. You said something about identify your dominant learning style, and you say something about social learning, distributed practice, unconscious learning. Even that is something new to me. And if we are talking about PICS, the basic interpersonal communication skills, elevator pitch, effective filter, and you said something new, VMR, visual mental rehearsal, and the technology, yes, rightly pointed out, and the R, rehearse, record, and review, and the three mantras, exactly, and the practice. Yes, practice makes everything perfect. And dear listeners, I think we got the right person today. I should appreciate the Department of English and particularly the principal and the vice principal for taking this initiative. Actually, I never thought I will be talking to you. I'm not going to talk to you now. Also, I am not going to have a very lengthy talk because I belong to this department. That is one of the reasons vice principal was forcing me to talk at least for a minute. That is one of the reasons I took, because right now I am at home and I have my eldest son. He is being affected by this COVID-19. He's tested positive and he was admitted in the hospital for around 8 days. And now he is in home quarantine and he has 3 more days to go. Maybe that is one of the reasons I told her that I'm not going to talk, but still she insisted the love that she has and my passion towards this English language. Dear students, one thing you make it very sure. Even I was not a very good speaker in English. Even though I studied in a foreign country, I studied in East Africa. But as rightly said by ma'am, see, one of the reason I picked up English language is listening to BBC. and the VOA, Voice of America. When you continuously you listen to that radio, I'm sure you'll pick up a lot of good accents. That's very important in English. And you know one thing, how to bridge the gap is very simple. Talk about anything. Daily pick up a topic, talk about anything, and always be available, because most of the time students, we don't learn any foreign language because we are not native speakers, as rightly said by ma'am. To learn another language. See, my father has mastered 16 languages. Can you believe? Just imagine. I always talk, of course, our college people, they know. He has mastered English in the sense he's a walking encyclopedia. Any word, he'll give you the origin of the word. And he has, as ma'am said, he had a taste towards language. You should have a passion. You should love the language, whatever it may be, Russian language or French or German or Spanish, whatsoever it may be. You should have a passion towards that one. For that, you must be available. Time is very, very important. You have to allocate time. That get immediate feedback. What I mean by feedback is inform your friends how you speak English. Get some feedback, whether your grammar is correct, your vocabulary, or your pronunciation, is it correct? And always expand your vocabulary. Learn more new words. For that, you must have a thirst. Then only you can go and track your progress always. You have a progress. What I have learned today. Well, what about tomorrow? What about the day after tomorrow? So you have a track your progress. That is very important. Of course, I'm not going to give you a big lecture. Really, ma'am, thank you very much. Now, Karasi Gomadi, really, we appreciate you, and you have a fantastic future, I would rather say. And I think Kannai Velangani College for Women is so blessed to have you in the English department. And I should appreciate my department people. Really, they have done a very good job today. And this has reached a number of people. And I'm so happy. And I think I have a nap, a very good nap for at least half an hour, thinking of or meditating the wonderful talk given by Navu Karasi Komadi. And once again, principal, vice principal, and head of the department, as well, my colleagues in the Department of English, you have done a wonderful job today, this evening. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Your words of encouragement are a real motivation for us. Now, I kindly request the participants to kindly fill the feedback forms posted in the chat box with correct email ID to receive your e-certificates. And kindly subscribe to your institution's YouTube channel for further webinar updates. Now, moving on to the questions. Ma'am, shall I ask the first question, ma'am?
If you don't mind, you can also put it in the chat box.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I'll ask one. The second one I'll post it, ma'am. So the first question is from Anisha. She has asked, how can I improve my English outside the class?
Yeah, there are umpteen number of ways where you can improve your language outside the class. See, English is what we learn day to day. Okay, it is a continuous process, as I told. Try thinking in English first. Okay, when you are back home, think of all the day's happenings right from morning, maybe your assembly or the first hour, the second hour. Just think everything in English. Starting to think in English is the best exercise that will help you learn the language very fast. So start thinking. Maybe go home where you just recollect what happened today. Okay, think it in English. Okay, and try to jot it down in your diary or or take a personal note of it. That will really help you. Simple. Outside the class, you have like maybe you are in your some fine arts or some what do you call some program is there in the college. Come home, try to think of what happened and think in English and try to make a note of it. Definitely, it will help you. Yes. Can I have the next question?
Yes, ma'am. It is posted in the chat box.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So, yeah. 1 second. Yeah, outside the class, I have given you the answer. There is a question. Someone has asked this question. Those who write good English can't speak well, and those who speak well can't write well. Is it true? At times it is true. At times it is true. As I told you, if you are going to read a lot, writing will come to you naturally. And if you are going to listen a lot, speaking will come. I have seen people who speak wonderful English, but when they write English, like I can find mistakes between there and all those things. Okay, so the problem is they don't read a lot. Yes, it is true. At times, those who speak really well, they cannot make it. They cannot write a single page on their own. This speaking, it comes to them because they listen a lot. So if you are going to listen a lot, you will speak really good in English. And when you are going to read a lot, you will have a good writing skill. Yes. And the next question is.
The next question is grammar essential for speaking English?
Yeah, no, not at all. I won't tell grammar is essential for speaking English. So Rahul, the thing is, I'm not sure what is Rahul's mother tongue is. If it is Tamil, my first question to you is, I know you can speak Tamil, you are fluent in Tamil, but I don't think any of us know exactly what Tamil Ilakkanam is. No, it is something that we have learned naturally. So for speaking English, I don't think grammar is necessary. You cannot go by the rules and speak a language. So you have to practice it. You have to practice speaking. That is the only method. And I wouldn't tell that grammar is not essential at all. Grammar is essential. But when you ask the question as for speaking English, I can say that you have to master, you have to start speaking in English only by practice.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is from Subhashri. She has asked, the foreigners uses the phrases to express their feeling, but in India, we won't use the phrases. Why are we in the basic level?
No, that doesn't mean that we are in the basic level. Of course, we also use the phrase, I think. It is, at times, I often tell, I bite what I cannot chew. Yes, I just accept too many things and I'm not able to make it. So, and that if you are not using the phrases, that doesn't mean you are in the basic level. Yes, you might be your English is good even without using the phrases. If you are very much interested about the idioms and phrases, you can incorporate it in your style. You can make yourself unique. That doesn't mean that you are in your basic level.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. The next one is from Abhilash, sir. How long it takes or to practice to achieve a level in CEFR? Example from B2 to C2, the levels which they have in exams, ma'am. So he's asking about how long it takes to practice to achieve that level.
It all depends on the consistency, how immersed you are in the thought, and how dedicated you are, and how devoted you are to the idea. So, like moving from one level to the other, it all depends on the dedication that we have shown.
Okay, ma'am. And the next question is also from Mr. Abhilash. He has asked, do we need a ELT trainer to achieve C2 level?
To achieve, I'm
Do
sorry,
you want
can
me
you
to
come
repeat
up?
again, ma'am? Okay. Do we need a ELT trainer to achieve C2 level?
The trainer might help you, but again, it is all your personal effect. With your personal effort, you can make it.
Okay, ma'am. The last question is from Subhashri again. She has asked, is Influentia a free app?
I don't think it is a free app.
Okay. We have entered, yes, we have come to the end of the question and answer session.
So thank you for the wonderful opportunity, and thank you, sir, for those kind words. Yeah, of course, it was so motivating. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope we all stay safe and we all meet in another environment. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for answering the questions very clearly. Being thankful is the greatest of all virtues. No program can take shape without a hardworking team. It was the dedication and the enthusiasm of the organizers which makes the program a huge success. So, to thank all those who work for the success of this webinar, now I invite Mrs. Devika Prema, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to propose the vote of thanks.
Nisha. Warm greetings to all. The essence of all beautiful act is gratitude. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. Let me, first of all, start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. I wholeheartedly thank our chairman, Chevalier, Dr. N.R. Dhanapalan sir, our secretary, N.R.D. Prem Kumar sir, and our joint secretary, Dr. P.E.R. Premsan sir, Madam Principal Kamala Balakrishnan, and our Vice Principal, IQAC Coordinator, and Head Department of English, Mrs. Zafia Solomon, for their constant support and guidance for organizing program in such a successful way. On behalf of the college and students, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our eminent guest, Mrs. Navukarasi Gomati, for her presence and for enlightening us on the topic, bridging the gap, addressing the needs of English language learners. It was very informative and useful, and a very simple way taught the students how to acquire the language. Train the mouth with the ears, train the hands with your eyes, and constant practice will make it possible and learn the language. Thank you, ma'am. We have been fortunate enough to get the support of these teachers for making this program a successful one. I would like to thank all our technical staff members who worked behind and helped us to make this program a grand success. I thank the head of the department and staff members, participants from various colleges, and all the students for making this program a successful one. Thank you one and all. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Devika Prema. We have come to the end of the session. For young learners, learning is a knowledge building process. Hope our webinar today has been an eye-opener to acquire and master language. Learn more, learn new, and share what you had learned. And stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Until we meet you in the next session, this is Ms. Nisha Priyanti signing off with the department from you all. Thank you.